Sonic's Green Hills Adventure Season 4 Chapter 10 Enemy Spies. Shock's point of view.
When we arrived on Earth to spy for Iggy, we went to the Blue Hedgehog's address. We were now in front of a large two-story house with balconies. Okay, Locke, time to see if that hedgehog freak is hiding something, I said as I casted a spell that would record everything we were about to see during the mission. Then we carefully looked through all the first-story windows. However, they were completely empty and the lights were off. Locke, I believe they're all asleep. It's time we investigate the second story. Take my hand and I'll cast a spell to get us onto one of those balconies, I said as I saw the people in the master bedroom were asleep. Locke took my hand and I got us onto one of the balconies.
Sonic's point of view.
I was about to head inside when I saw two obviously who were not normal kids standing on the balcony of Annika's nursery. Hey, who are you two? What are you doing? I demanded in my panic as I got into a running stance to jump onto the balcony they were standing on.
None of your business!
The girl screamed and then she took out a small book and did something to me. I immediately blacked out.
Once Sonic was out cold, Locke went to the window to see Annika sleeping in her crib.
I hope he still had that spell going because you have to see this.
Shock hurried over to Locke's side.
Of course I do, you idiot! Oh, a baby, huh? That will intrigue the boss immensely. Let's see what's in the other rooms.
Shock said excitedly as she and Locke went to the next balcony where Sonic was passed out. They looked in and saw Silver sleeping, but then he sat up. He started to head towards the balcony when he saw Sonic was out there. Luckily for the terrible duo, Shock used a sound-canceling and invisibility spell so he couldn't see nor hear what they were saying.
Huh? Sonic? Are you okay? Can you hear me? Please wake up. I better get Shadow now.
Silver said in a panic, trying to shake Sonic awake, but it was no use, and he headed to Shadow's room. Locke and Shock went to the next balcony where Shadow and Midnight were sleeping, just in time to see what was happening. Silver's point of view.
When I got to Shadow's room, I ran over to his bed and started to shake him frantically. Please wake up, Shadow. It's Sonic, I said as I did this. Finally, he woke up.
What is it, Silver? What's wrong?
I woke up with an odd feeling that something was wrong and looked around the room for Sonic when I saw he wasn't in his bed. He's out cold on our balcony, I replied as I was pulling him towards our bedroom.
Oh, great. Looks like our enemies are striking a little earlier than we thought.
Shadow said as we entered the bedroom. We hurried over to Sonic to wake him up, but nothing worked.
I have one more thing that might wake him. Chaos Heal!
Shadow said as I watched him hover his hand over Sonic's face. Almost immediately, Sonic woke up with a sharp gasp. Oh, thank goodness you're awake, Sonic. What happened? I asked as me and Shadow hugged Sonic out of relief.
Two kids were on Annika's balcony when the girl did something to make me pass out.
Sonic replied shakily as he stood back up.
Sonic, you go check up on Annika. Silver, let's make sure those two kids aren't still here.
Shadow said, immediately taking charge of the situation. Me and Sonic nodded and I followed Shadow using my psychokinesis.
Meanwhile, Locke and Shock were discussing what they just saw.
Wow, he really was hiding some things. A baby sibling and a third brother.
Shock said in evil delight. Shock kept all three spells going to avoid getting caught in the act again. Locke took another look inside and realized Jack's daughter was sleeping in there.
Shock, Midnight is here, which means her mother might be here too.
Well, there's one more room to check. Let's see if she's in there.
Shock said as she took them to Longclaw's balcony. When they got there, Shock's theory was spot on. However, they saw Longclaw in there too.
I can't believe it. We hit the jackpot. But who is that very large owl in there with Sally?
I don't know, but let's get back to Oogie.
Shock said as she ended the spells. However, that was a mistake, for that's exactly when Shadow and Silver saw them.
Hey, stop right there, you creeps.
Shadow screamed once he was in front of them.
Oh, great. I told you we should have just teleported out of here.
Locke said angrily as he pushed Shock in annoyance. Silver then used his psychokinesis to freeze them in place.
Let us go!
Not just yet. Now who are you and why are you spying on us?
I'm Locke and she's Shock. We're spying because Uki is here and told us to.
Locke said very reluctantly. He knew what Shock would do to him later and was not looking forward to it.
Hey, you should be more worried about that blue one right now because that wasn't just a sleeping spell.
Silver immediately got closer to her.
What did you do?
Look out, it's a full moon, and go see for yourself.
This isn't over.
Silver said as he released them from his psychokinesis. The two kids immediately teleported away.
Come on, Shadow, we need to find Sonic now.
Silver said frantically as he flew over to Annika's balcony. Shadow nodded and teleported over there, as they saw Sonic holding Annika and heading to the balcony. Sonic's point of view.
When I got to Annika's nursery, she was crying heavily, so I immediately took her in my arms. Hey, shh. It's okay. Nothing will harm you if I have anything to say about it. I said as I rocked her in my arms, trying to soothe her, but she kept on going. What's wrong, little sis? I asked her, hoping she somehow could give me an answer. But she kept on crying. Then I thought of an idea. Singing a lullaby always works. Little sister, hush now, quiet my heart. These tears that fall like rain upon the pane, they pierce me deeper than any foe could strike. What haunts your dreams, Anika? Tell me, try. I faced down monsters, raced against the clock. But this small sorrow, this unraveling thread, it binds my spirit, chills me to the bone. I cannot bear to see you in such pain. Shadow and Silver, they are strong and brave. They fight unseen things, lurking in the dark. Lock and shock, a twisted, cruel delight. I pray they'll leave our family alone in peace. But you, my sister, you are pure and bright, a beacon burning in this shadowed world. Your laughter echoes a melody divine, and I will guard it fiercely with my life. Sleep now, Anika. Let your worries fade. I'm here beside you. Always, never far, though fear may linger and the night is long. My love surrounds you until the morning light. After I finished, she was crying still, but was calming down. That's it, Annika. Maybe some fresh air will help too, I said as I walked out to the balcony. That's when I saw Shadow and Silver with panicked looks on their faces. Hey guys, what's wrong? I asked as I walked over to them.
Shock said it wasn't just a knockout spell she hit you with. She said it had something to do with the full moon.
Hey, speaking of which, why isn't it putting us under our moon spell? You know, because of the Merhog thing? I asked as I forgot about it until that moment.
I don't know why either. Maybe it doesn't affect Mobians.
I got curious, so I walked past them and looked at the full moon intensely. Well, it sure looks beautiful tonight, I said nervously. That's when I started to feel strange. I immediately told Silver to hold Annika. Silver did just that. Then I felt intense pain as I saw my arms become more muscular and with longer fur that was a darker shade of blue tipped in white, and my hands became larger with sharp claws that destroyed my gloves. What's happening to me? I asked as tears fell down my cheeks from the fear and pain. A few moments later, the pain went away. I suddenly got the strongest urge to howl at the moon. So I did. Then I slowly turned around to look at my siblings. That's when I saw my reflection in the glass of the balcony double doors. Oh my gosh, I'm a monster! We can't let anyone see me like this. You guys are afraid of me, right? I said as I started to panic.
Well, calm down, Sonic. We need to tell Mom and Dad about it at least, okay?
Shadow said as he did his best to put his hands on my shoulders, since I was now taller than him. I nodded as we headed back inside. Silver put Annika in her crib and tucked her in before following us to Donut Dad and Pretzel Mom's room. Shadow, can you knock? I don't know my own strength while like this, and I don't want to accidentally break their door down. I asked as we walked up to it.
Of course, Sonic.
Shadow said as he gently knocked on the door, but still in a way that let our parents know it was urgent.
Come in.
We heard Pretzel Mom say, and so we hurried in. Donut Dad, Pretzel Mom, I know I don't look like myself, but it's me. I'm so scared. I've turned into a monster, I said as I started to lose my composure and sob. Donut Dad took me into his arms. Despite my changed height, I was still short compared to an adult human.
It's going to be okay, buddy.
Donut Dad said soothingly as he rubbed my back. I just let all my tears out, so grateful to have such amazing parents. What's happening to me, Daddy? I asked, for that's how scared this was making me. Then Donut Dad ended the hug and put a hand on my cheek.
Sonic, please don't cry. Everything will be fine, and you're not a monster. You're still the same Sonic. But how did this happen?
Donut Dad told me as I leaned into the gentle touch. Thanks, Donut Dad, I said and explained what happened just a few minutes ago.
Don't worry, sweetie. If this is triggered by the full moon, then you should be back to normal in the morning, right?
Yeah, she's right, Sonic. Now we should go to bed. We'll need our rest for tomorrow.
Shadow added comfortingly. I simply nodded as we left for bed.
Meanwhile, Robotnik had arrived at the outskirts of Green Hills, and now he was impatiently tapping his foot. He knew Oogie was coming to Earth eventually, but I didn't expect it to be this long of a wait.
What's taking him so long?
And as if on cue, Oogie appeared in front of him.
Sorry for the wait, but I had to send my henchmen to do spy work on your enemy's house. Who knows where he's hiding, right?
I wish you would have waited to do that. My drones are far more stealthy.
Robotnik said as he rolled his eyes.
So what is that?
Oogie asked as he pointed to metal